What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Today, unfortunately, I'm not updating you on the Integra. The main reason why I'm not doing anything with the Integra is because the garage that the Integra is in now, the lease is up in another 2 months. So I don't want to start working on it and then having to move to another garage and have a whole bunch of scattered parts and lose some parts in the move. So unfortunately, like I said, I'm dying to start the car, and I'm dying to start working on the car and actually start riding it around again. So this video is more about the Grom. So if you do have a 2017 or above Grom, you would know that the headlights are pretty crappy, and at night with a small bike and really bad headlights is really not that good of a mix. So I started looking around to see what other headlights, what other options. I couldn't find any. So what I ended up doing was I had an idea to put new lights inside the actual cover of the headlights, and I couldn't find any information online. So that gave me that idea to actually make this video. Hopefully it will help you guys out and understand how to open the actual headlight cover and do all of this and that. So here I have a headlight. If you're not familiar with it, it has a whole bunch of clips, but the thing is, it's glued on. So I'm going to show you basically what I did, and hopefully it will help you guys out. Alright, so here we have the OEM headlight. That's what it looks like. The reason why you can't just change the bulb inside, I'll show you that in a minute, but it has a few LED things that are not replaceable. So in order for you to buy or replace the bulbs inside, you have to buy a brand new one. So what I ended up doing was I ended up buying a LED bar like this one. Now if you notice, obviously it's too big inside. This is the best one that I could find that is around the same size, or at least I could at least customize to fit inside this this cover here. Now I wanted to maintain the OEM look since I really like the headlight, and I don't know, I just wanted to try to keep it as stock looking as possible, at least the front side, and see if I could incorporate this with this. Alright, so as you can see here with this, you have these bolts here. I took these off, and it comes with a place where you could mount it, but obviously it's too big and I couldn't work with this. So what I ended up doing was turning this into this. Now what I ended up doing was cutting up the whole thing, just to try to make it fit inside. Now to compare both of them, this is how they look. What I had to cut. Now what I ended up doing was, like I said, I removed this part over here, so you can see, and I also had to cut the back. So it's a whole bunch of cutting. Now I'm not too worried about the exposed wires because it's going to be inside the actual headlight. This is the headlight. This is the OEM headlight, and I turned this into this. Now I'll show you what I meant about the LED. So that if you wanted to replace the headlights on it, you have to replace this. This whole thing is connected all in one wire, or one circuit, I guess you want to call that, but kind of complex. And in order for you to try to change the light bulb or try to do some wiring, you're gonna have to cut into this and do so much other stuff. So I turned this into this. Now as you can see, the headlights are in there. It fits perfectly fine. Now I did have to cut into it, and I'll show you exactly what I had to do. I'll take this apart and show you exactly what I did. Alright, now in order for you to take this apart completely, it does have a few clips here. Now I started taking them off and still couldn't come out, so I noticed that it did have some adhesive on it. So I put it in the oven. I put it at 350 degrees, and I left it in there for about, I would say, 5 minutes. In total 5 minutes. Now I kept on taking it in and out every 2 minutes just to see if it loosens up. After a while, it ended up loosening up. Once I put it on in the oven for that amount of time, it came out. As you can see, it still has adhesive in it. Now for the back part, I ended up having to cut. If you do open it, this part I had to cut just so I could fit this part in here. This part over here had something sticking out so bad, so I had to cut that out. So I ended up, let's see here. Also, this is another thing that I had to cut, is this part that goes on this. There was one part and I had to cut it. And I used also this one, and I had to cut just a little bit over here so it could fit. Now, the biggest reason I started cutting into all of this is because I didn't want to make an extra switch for my headlight, and I wanted to just turn on the bike and have the headlights working at all times. Now, this is the plug-in that goes under here. Now, I started looking into what is what, and I ended up figuring this out myself because the harness, I couldn't find anything on the harness, which one is power, which one is ground, and whatnot. So once I opened everything, pretty sure you can't tell, but it shows here one says low, regular negative, and regular positive. So I took the regular positive and negative, took it out, which regular positive, which I'm guessing was the regular headlight, positive was the red one, and the green one was the negative. Once I hooked up the negative to obviously the ground and the power to this, as soon as I turned on my bike, everything started working. So let me put this back together, and that's it. And that's how it looks. Unfortunately, I still haven't wired up the high beam. The high beam, if you know if you know about these as well, that the high beams are really not that bright anyway. So this one, I tested it a few times to see how directional it is, and it's pretty bright, and it's not like you're riding high beams on a constant basis, but it's pretty bright. Alright, so this is the final product. See, a hell of a lot brighter. This is a street with no light. Now I drove behind someone, and when I saw them in a gas station, I asked if the light was too far up. It seemed like a high beam, and they said no. It seems like it's perfect. Pretty bright. I'm happy with it. Still looks like OEM. And yes, it is that dark. But this definitely helps. I'll see you guys back inside. Alright guys, so I'm finally back. I feel a lot more comfortable with that LED bar. It's a lot brighter, especially, you know, with a small bike. You know, you want people to see you. But anyway, this is gonna conclude my video for today, for this week. I'm not sure when I'm gonna record again, but just make sure you like, you make sure you subscribe, and I'll try to do something with the Integra next week. I miss that car. But anyway, like I said, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Alright?